Nick Darr here with Big Z Media. Hope you enjoy the episodes of Business Over Brew, and pleased to have the Riverbend Growth Association as the sponsor of this program. Our missions are kind of the same, really. We're attempting to educate people about business, foster business in the Riverbend community. The Big Z has been a member of the Growth Association forever, probably back to our inception as a company almost. We have always been members of the Growth Association, have gotten a lot of benefits from it. There's so many networking opportunities you can take advantage of. I've met so many great people just because I've been a member of the Growth Association and taken advantage of all the events that they have, plus just some of the resources they provide you, the relationships you build, just lots of great reasons to join the Growth Association. They do a lot of great things in the community as well. They highlight a different nonprofit every month. So really, they're just invested in the community here, and especially the small business community, which is what Business Over Brew is really all about, which is helping the small business community, because it's so important to any community to have a thriving business community. And the Growth Association has really helped with that. If you want more information about joining or events that might be coming up, they have events all the time that you should definitely take advantage of. I'm going to give you the website to go to. Just head to growthassociation.com. You can get a membership directory. You can see who's taking advantage of it. You can see about the events that are there, learn more about possibly becoming a member. Or if you already are a member, you can find out what's going on with the Growth Association at growthassociation.com. So just again, big thank you to the Riverbend Growth Association for sponsoring Business Over Brew. Welcome to Business Over Brew. Nick Darr here with you. Pleased to be joined in this episode by Chris and Erin Velloff from the Brown Bag Bistro. We are joining you. We always film Business Over Brew here at the Great Rivers Tap and Grill inside the Best Western Premier Hotel here in Alton. Terrific restaurant. If you get a chance to check it out, I highly recommend you do so. And another restaurant I highly recommend to check out is the Brown Bag Bistro. So Chris or Erin, whoever wants to start, if you could just give us a little thumbnail sketch of when the business got started, how it got started, and just how this idea came to you, and kind of the history of the business.
Okay, well, cheers, first of all.
Yes, absolutely.
For having us. Thank you. We opened this April 3rd will be our 5-year anniversary, and I think it was on a whim. We just decided to open it. We owned the building next door. I had started it as the 1904 General Store, which is a candy and gift shop, and it's very difficult to sustain something like that on its own. And my brother and I had the opportunity to buy the building next door, and we decided to open up a restaurant. Although my brother and sister-in-law are no longer a part of it, Erin and I have bought them out, and we are the operators of the restaurant, and it's just been a dream come true. Erin had just graduated from college and has been
Hopped
there
on right on in, yeah.
from day one. So she's now a co-owner.
And how has that dynamic been? I mean, you always hear about family business, good and bad, but
I mean, if you're asking if we buck heads, 100%.
Sure.
Yeah. But it works out. It does.
I think there's probably some positives to it in terms of just the probably open and honest communication that can take place between in a family business that maybe you try to sugarcoat things a little bit if they're not family members sometimes.
Right.
So that's probably a little bit of a plus, I guess.
Well, the age difference too, that does help. Like just like viewing things in a different way and all of that.
Sure,
So,
right.
That's been good.
I always thought the name was a brilliant stroke of genius because it's really easy for recall. Brown Bag Bistro, or a lot of people call it BBB. Where did the name come from?
I don't know. I think, I don't know. One day it just came to me and I thought, I really like that name. I hadn't Googled it or anything. I think there might be another one in Canada, the Brown Bag Bistro as well. But I don't know. It's just something that stuck with me.
Talk about the early stages of just where the menu came from and how you decided what to go with. Because there's a million things you could have done.
Well, we were going to put a dozen sandwiches on the menu, and we talked to somebody that was in the business and said, he's like, you guys don't know what you're doing. And I had never stepped foot in a commercial kitchen in my life. And
I was the only one that had. Yeah. I had worked at the loading doctor in college.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
That was it. So
yeah, and we listened to him. He's just like, start out with a few sandwiches and perfect them. And that's what we did. And I can honestly tell you, I think Erin and I have all the confidence in the world to put a new sandwich on the menu and know that the product that we have going out is good.
So how many original sandwiches did you start with? Do you remember?
Seven or eight, yeah.
And what was the two or three or the top two or three sellers, or did it surprise you as well? Like what sold better than other things?
The business in general has surprised me. We're very humbled by where we're going with the business. A couple of the sandwiches, a Sammy Roux and a Rosie Roux. And the Sammy Roux is a regular Reuben, and a Rosie Roux is a turkey Reuben. And those are named after my parents, Sam and Rose. So
Very
that's
cool.
where that comes from.
I didn't know that. So I've enjoyed those sandwiches a few times. So
The
nice to know the history
is
about
the
it.
Italian sandwich, and that's my Italian last name.
Awesome.
And sometimes we have, kind of like a weird sandwich, and people are always intrigued by something like that. So those always sell well, too.
What was, to date, in 5 years, what's been the biggest surprise? You said it always surprises you. What are some specific surprises about the business, good or bad?
The way carry out just boomed during COVID, and then we just never looked back there. I mean, it was decent before, but now it's just like in the winter, I mean, it'll be like 75% carry out versus like 25% dine in. It just kind of depends, but
because we can only seat 24 inside of the bistro.
In the winter,
Thursday through Sunday, we have extra seating at the general store, but if we're not open there, then we get a lot of carryouts.
So carryout was a pretty small portion of the business, and then COVID
prior
hit,
to COVID,
and boom. So it was good for some businesses and bad for others. So.
Yeah, I don't know that we were expecting that at all. So that was a surprise for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So you were just out of college when it started. Chris, what other jobs had you had before?
Well, I had worked at WashU doing research. My background is in biology, so I did research for years. And then my brother and I rehabbed several properties. So real estate is still one of my passions to rehab, and that's kind of where it started. He worked 2.5 years on doing the bistro. So, I did a lot of the painting and did a lot of the hard work as well. But he was the genius behind designing it all.
Yeah, it's right up the street from the radio station, so I would walk by it and kind of wonder what's going on
What's
here.
happening?
So, but and then you started to see it take shape. It's like, wow, that's really cool.
Yes.
You really did create an unbelievably nice outdoor space.
He's a master carpenter.
Yeah.
You can never take that away from my brother. Yeah.
What's been the most rewarding part of the business for both of you?
Gosh, for me, just learning a new business and following a dream and really seeing that dream come to fruition and, it growing and growing on a daily basis.
Yeah, I agree. Just like, every ounce that we put into it, you can see it coming back. And I think, I had just came out of college, like you said, so I had never worked for anyone else like that. So just to go in and be with her every day, and it's rewarding knowing that all your hard work pays off.
Yeah.
It's funny because all of your customers probably think they could run a restaurant.
We laugh at ourselves half the time, so that's fine.
So what are some things that the average person that thinks I could probably do that? What do they not know?
I mean, from the beginning, you just have to be willing to just be married to the business almost.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some days I feel like I'm just not home, which is fine. I'm not, that it's part of it sometimes, but that is a big time commitment, is a huge thing.
And we have great hours. We're only 10:30 to 3 during the week.
Yeah.
And the weekends are shorter hours as well. So we're not a bar. It's nice being able to shut down early and go home after that.
Yeah. So those were probably intentionally good hours to set, but even still, with the relatively short time window, it's still, like you said, such a commitment to it. And even when you're not there, you're there.
For sure.
Is typically how it goes for most business owners.
For sure.
How do you handle conflict in the business when it does come about?
Oh, it definitely, it'll happen. I mean, just, people will get upset on a busy day with wait times or just anything like that. And just trying to explain that, hey, we're making these fresh, it's not McDonald's. We're trying.
Well, part of the problem, people can't see the call-in tickets.
Mm-hmm.
See, they don't have a
clue.
So
they're thinking.
So I've been here for 30 minutes. Where's my food?
Yeah,
but, there might be 15 tickets ahead of them that they just can't see. So
all the more reason to do carryout. I guess.
And then COVID was just throwing left and right all the time, the different hardships. But once you got past that, it wasn't too bad.
What in 5 years? What role has has innovation played in the business? I'm obviously innovating into carry out and even catering some events and things like that. Just talk about the role that innovation has played for the business.
Gosh, I'm not sure that.
Well, just like getting new equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I mean, every year or so we add something new that we, hey, this maybe we'll speed this up or help us in this way.
But we don't have any like Subway, toaster ovens that are,
Sure.
We tried it and our sandwiches are not suitable for that.
Yeah.
And the quality was not there. And we're like, well, we can't do that.
So just always
we're going to have to wait.
Right.
Yeah. Always just trying to like think of new things.
Yeah. Right.
Definitely.
I love the behind the scenes stuff of any business really, but a restaurant in particular, just, wondering just about the process of how it goes
yeah.
from order to plate.
From day one, I've learned everything. Like she said, she worked at loading dock and knew a little bit. I knew nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Right. You guys have the coolest looking little truck around. Talk about where that came from and how that came about.
It was just I wanted a mini food truck. So it's not a food truck per se. It's a food display truck. So it's a gigantic charcuterie board, if you will. And so we've done a few events with that, and that's been a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
My daughter's here. She works here, and her ears probably just perked up because she loves the.
She loves
truck.
it. Yeah. People love when
So
it makes appearances. Yeah. So
it'll be there for our 5-year anniversary out front.
Yeah.
Yep.
You mentioned the commitment to it. Just talk about how you balance the personal and professional side of things.
I've been self-employed for so many years that it's just a part of my life.
Right.
It just is.
Yeah.
We're really good at switching off too. Like I just got back from Germany yesterday, so hey, I gotta get away for a little bit, and
Sure.
So she'll handle it, and vice versa.
Vice versa. Yep.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for maybe young aspiring business owners or somebody who's thinking about going into business for themselves right now?
Boy, that's a personal decision, all the way. But gosh, if you have a dream.
Some people have said, "Don't do it."
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Just be prepared is what I would say.
Right.
Yeah. I think in any business where you're self-employed, because you can't rely on anybody but yourself. So you can go to your grave saying, "I tried."
Yeah, and the key is definitely finding 2 people that you trust and that work well with you.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of the people we have now have been there for years.
Yeah.
So that's a huge one.
A couple things on that kind of. I was listening to a podcast recently, and he talked about it was Gary Vaynerchuk, and he said, "Whatever problem exists in your business, if you're running it, it's your fault." So if you start to take that mentality of just 100% accountability, like don't blame others for it.
Right.
It's your job to fix it.
Yeah.
No, you're definitely right.
That's true.
And even if it's another person that's continually messing up, well, it's your job because you're allowing that to continue to happen.
Right.
So,
Right.
and so that part of it is good in a way because it does make you think, okay, I just got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think, in all honesty, being in the restaurant business, don't you feel we're very fortunate in the crew that we've had?
Yes.
We've got a great bunch of
Yeah.
kids, and it's the cooks that, you can come up with these menus, but you got to have good cooks, and I think they take pride in what goes out of the restaurant.
That's interesting because a lot of the business owners we've had on the show have talked about what a challenge that's been for them.
Oh, it can
since
be
COVID
for
and
sure.
finding quality employees and keeping them. But obviously, you're probably doing some things too to have a healthy work culture and keep people. So what are some things along that end that you guys try to do to?
Well, like she said earlier, the hours I think definitely help. Like you're not working at night for the most. On the weekends, but other than that, like they're you're getting. We close at 3 during the week. You're going to get out of there and still have your day to yourself after that.
Yeah,
so
that's a big
that
thing.
does help.
Mm-hmm.
We'll wrap up with just a few rapid fire questions for you guys. So just first thought that comes to your mind, and you both can answer individually. So first one is, do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Extrovert.
Both
100%,
extroverts.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Second question, plan everything to a T or go with the flow?
Go with the flow. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but
Good and bad.
Yeah.
I think. So, morning person, night owl?
I go to bed at like 9 p.m.
I'm a morning person.
Yeah.
Biggest pet peeve?
Laziness. That's mine.
All right. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to ditto that probably.
Yeah. You have a day, nothing on the schedule, beautiful day. What are you doing?
She's in her pool, probably.
Yeah,
All right.
in my pool. If it's summertime, If I have a property to work on, because I have rental property, I'll go work on a property.
All
We're
right.
actually trying to turn a little house into an Airbnb as our next business
Awesome.
venture. So yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool. You really kind of got the entrepreneurial bug and just keep
Absolutely.
going, right?
And I passed it on to her, I think.
And you?
If
In
it's
Germany, I guess?
yeah, I love to travel, but
Right.
I don't get away like that all the time. But just if it's nice out, I'm gonna be honest, just go to Grafton and like day drink and hang out. Like that would be my ideal day.
Hey, that's
so.
not a bad day, is
Yeah.
it? So, and finally, favorite dessert?
Oh, I'm not that big of a dessert eater. So
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
more
know
of
if
like carb people.
Gotcha.
If
All
I
right,
could-
then I'll change the question for you
Okay.
guys. Just specifically for Brown Bag Bistro, favorite sandwich on the menu?
Mine is the Rugrat.
Triple
Okay.
decker.
Yes,
That's mine.
They both have roast beef on them though, so
Gotcha. All right.
similar a little.
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show. If people want to find out more about Brown Bag Bistro, where can they go?
So we're on Facebook, we have Instagram, and we have a website, but it's Brown Bag Bistro Alton, like / for all of them. They're all the same. So
And of course, physical location right on Broadway and all.
yeah.
So check them out, Brown Bag Bistro. Chris, Erin, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
it.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you.